Hey good people, welcome back to my channel. This is your girl Jessica. I'm back for another video this week. And this week's topic is about the attempt at trying to please those around you. Now the reason I picked this topic is because I feel like this is something that I've struggled with the most. Not just in recent weeks, but to be honest with you, just kind of my entire life. I've always kind of struggled with, trying to be more assertive, trying to be more outspoken, more straightforward. I feel like that part of my personality is there. However, it just depends on the situation and circumstances that I'm placed in. I would say growing up when I was a teenager, I was a little more passive and, I kind of just went with things. Now, I don't necessarily mean that I was one to, go along with the crowd. I didn't necessarily do what the cool kids did. I made my own decisions in terms of things like that. But I was more passive, just kind of in speaking my mind. And, if things were going on that I didn't like, I just kind of kept them to myself. And I would put a lot of, my feelings and how I felt about things. I would kind of put that on the back burner and look more towards, who I felt like was a little more assertive than me, whether that been peers or whether that been family or whatever the case might have been. Definitely if it was somebody older than me, I just kind of went with it. It's like, okay, this was being asked of me. So that's something I've struggled with a lot, and I know I can't be the only one. As I've told you guys before, I don't mind at all being transparent. I believe that a lot of things that I talk about here on this channel are some of the same things that you guys are going through. But as I've gotten older, definitely, into my early 20s and then on to now my early 30s, I definitely made some huge transitions, some huge changes. And I'm definitely much more assertive, much more straightforward and upfront about how I feel. If it's something I don't like, right away I'm willing to tell you, and I'm okay with that. But getting back to the topic at hand, trying to please everyone, that is something I am still currently struggling with. And like I said, I know I can't be the only one. What I've come to learn is with certain people, you will never ever be able to do enough. Like it's like running a marathon and you're almost at the finish line, and at every time it seems like you're getting up on the finish line and you're seconds to crossing it, they move the finish line back. It's like it's something that's never going to be obtainable. Like you're never gonna completely please that person or those people. And I think it's important to know when you're dealing with that type of person or those type of people, and knowing when to say no, knowing when like enough is enough. I can remember at one point in my early 20s, just completely running myself ragged, whether it be for family or whether it be for friends. And, this is not at all a video to put anybody down or throw anybody under the bus. So hopefully people don't get all in their feelings. But just being honest, I used to rip and run until I had like no energy left. And when it came down to it, I was exhausted. I had nothing else left to give to myself. And I say all that to say, sometimes you got to know when to say no. Like if it's something that you just really can't do, you don't have the energy, you don't have the time, you don't have the mental capacity, you just have to say no. And especially in situations when you're dealing with someone that it seems like no matter what you do, you cannot please. And let me tell you this, you can run yourself ragged, going here for this person, doing this for that person. You're allowing yourself to be pulled in all these different directions. At the end of the day, you're going to run yourself ragged, and you know what's going to happen? Tomorrow, you're going to end up in the same situation. When you're dealing with people that are willing to drain you and they know that they're draining you, whatever you did today, they look at that as today. I was talking to a friend recently, and she explained it like, the things for those type of people that I'm talking about, in those situations, you could set aside this amount of time. Okay, I'm going to dedicate this amount of time to this person. It might be 3 hours. I'm going to do this. This is what they've been asking me to do. I'm going to do all these things. And then the next day they come right back and it's like, hey, can you do this now? I need you to, put down what you're doing to do this. And you're thinking to yourself, like, I just dedicated 3 hours to you yesterday. I set aside that time. I blocked out that time specifically to do what it was that you asked for me to do. But now you're coming back today. So it's like that slate is being wiped clean and you're starting all over. In your mind, it's like working a job. You're looking at it like I'm putting this time on a timesheet and this person is wiping the slate clean. When you get done with today, we're erasing today and we're starting off with tomorrow. And not to mention, sometimes people will ask you for the most ridiculous things ever. Nowadays, people will ask you to do things that they're not even willing to do for themselves. So you just got to know when to say when. At the end of the day, you will never please everybody. So don't even try. It's best to not even try. My favorite saying now is, I'm not going to start anything that I'm not willing to finish. And it's crazy because you can tell a person yes 1,000 times. And you could tell them no only once. And they will remember the one time that you said no. I'm just realizing that with certain people, and I don't care who it is, family, friends, I don't care, neighbor, it does not matter. When you know that you've reached your max of what you can do, you have to be willing to say no. You know, I think my thought before used to be, I didn't want to be looked at as a bad person. I thought that if I always said yes, that would, you know, to that person, it would equate as me being a good person. And what I had to look at is, I'm a good person anyway. I'm a good person whether I say yes today or I say no tomorrow. I'm still a good person. I know what I bring to the table. I know what I am and who I am to my close friends and my close family. So because I say no does not make me a bad person. Because I say no makes me a smart person. And the reason being is because I know my limits. So if it's something that I can't do, it's smarter to say no than to say yes to appease the person for the moment. Because you know what? At the end of the day, they're sitting back with their hands crossed and their legs kicked up and they're chilling. The only person being sacrificed is you. Your well-being, your mental health, your physical health, all of that. Like, you're compromising all of that for the sake of someone else. And one of the most powerful lessons I learned is to stop putting everyone else's feelings, thoughts, and concerns above my own. Because like I said, you compromise yourself, you compromise your own well-being for someone else. And what makes that person better than you are? And I like to look at it like this. You train people on how to treat you based on how you treat yourself. So if everyone else is so much more important than you, what they think, what they feel, what they need, their desires, all of that is so much more important than you, then how do you think they're going to treat you? Because they're looking at how you treat yourself. So if it's one thing that I can leave you with, it would just be to do what you can do and don't stress about the things that you can't. Some things are out of your control. Some things you don't need to even get involved in the first place. Some things you're too tired to do. And you just have to be honest with yourself and be honest with the people around you. And you know what? If they don't understand, that's a bigger issue. To be honest with you, that's not really your problem, that's theirs. That's it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And before you leave, click that like button at the bottom of the page. Make sure that you share my videos so that other people can see them and enjoy them as well. And make sure, if you have not already, I don't know what you're waiting for, but if you have not subscribed to my channel, please do. That way you'll never miss a video from me. And until next time, you guys be blessed.